It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Dolce Vita, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, real quick before I get into it, let me save you over $200 on your next desk. I recently put together a new secondary setup, and I decided to go with the Ewin Racing standing desk because it checked pretty much every box I was looking for. The first thing that stood out was how sturdy it feels. It uses a full metal frame, and even when you raise it up, it stays solid with virtually no shake. The electric sit-to-stand adjustment is smooth, and the height controls let you switch between 3 programmable height presets with the press of a button. Another feature I really wasn't expecting is the built-in RGB lighting. Instead of using a separate remote, the desk has its own dedicated touchscreen control panel built right into the top. So changing colors and lighting effects is quick and easy whenever you want to match the rest of your setup. The desk itself is a spacious 63 inches, so there's plenty of room for multiple monitors, a keyboard, and all of your gaming gear without feeling cramped. They also built hidden cable management into the desk, which makes it much easier to keep everything looking clean. The carbon fiber finish gives it a premium look, and I also like the little quality of life touches like the built-in cup holder and the headset hook. Those are small additions, but they're the kind of features that make this desk feel well thought out. If you're looking to upgrade your setup, head over to ewinracing.com and use code Militia at checkout to get 30% off your order. That's over $200 in savings on this desk. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your workspace, now's a great time to do it. All right, starting out with the cars this week, we've got the Maserati Ghibli 4.9 and the Fiat 500F. This is the brand new one. So if you haven't bought this one or you didn't get it in the year 3 pass yet, now's the time to buy it because it's in a bundle. So buy it this week. And finally, the Maserati Alfieri Concept Hypercar. This one just got a buff here in season 10. So it's actually pretty nice to drive. Now there is one additional car that I do recommend, and it's the Touring Superleggera Aurese RH95. This one, I forget how much this is going to cost you, but the bundle will cost you 1.1 million bucks for the other 3 cars, and then this one's probably over a million or close to 2, somewhere in that $1 million to $2 million range for this one. But that's just if you want to. This is a good car for the track of the week. So anyways, let's take a look at the rewards for this week's summit. At bronze, you get 50 prestige tickets, 100,000 bucks for silver, the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale for gold, and the Old Vibe tire. If you're looking to build out some Old Vibe cars, now is the time to get the vanity tire. I don't know, it's not a great vanity, but it's a free vanity if you get platinum, so yeah, it's worth doing. All right, here are the pro settings for the cars, and let's get into the first event. All right, the first event is a lone Fiat. So for this one, don't have any parts. You're gonna want to stay to the left on this first turn. Try to stay left as much as possible here and get yourself back on the embankment. Use it to turn here. You can go outside of that checkpoint and then jump off of here. And you're gonna want to point your car to the right on that jump, basically to the right of the checkpoint flag. So you point your car to the right and you're good to go there. Drift this corner. Slow yourself down as much as possible. The car drifts quite a bit. You can cut the grass on this one. Careful though, because the car gets a little unstable on the grass. Go on the grass on the left and cut it back right before the tree, and you'll get that checkpoint. And then you go across the grass again. Told you there's a lot of cuts in this one. And go to the right of that checkpoint flag. Now in this one, you're going to cut to the left of the checkpoint. Go across the grass and get yourself back on the road. And by this point, you should have a full tank of NOS, so don't use too much on those cuts. And you put yourself in 4th gear and you know, get going. In this section, this is where people kind of lose it because of this little jump here. Go as fast as you possibly can and try to make it on top of the roof here. You don't want to go underneath. You want to make it on top. And then when you get here, turn right before you leave the roof. Now, I did it a little too much, so I over-rotated, but it's okay. You want to do it a little bit before you leave the roof. The last tricky spot is this jump. You see how I started... Let's go back a little. See how I started in the middle of the jump and not to the right? You need to be as far right as possible. Then you take the jump at an angle to the left. I tried to compensate and turn the car, but the game threw me back to the right. That mechanic is really stupid. And you got to kind of compensate by starting on the right side and angling your car to the left. Now, don't angle it so far you go in the ocean. That's obviously bad. Don't do that. Anyway, let's move on. All right, race number 2 with Ghibli, also a lone vehicle. The only thing that's important here is the NOS management, and there's just like a couple of gutters that I'll show you that you need to hit, and the what do you call it, the roundabout, which is important. So let's get through that. As far as NOS management goes, let the NOS build up before you start using it. And this is a gutter here at 18, 19. Make sure you hit that one. Make sure you hit the one at 39 here. And then you're going to hit this one again at 41. And the next one at 44. And it's all NOS management from here. As far as the roundabout goes, you're going to set this up by going as far left as possible. Then cut it back right to the right side of the flag. Watch the middle thing. And then cut this flag as well on the exit. There you go. That's pretty much it. Let's move on. All right, the third race is with the Maserati Alfieri Concept. This one is also a loaned vehicle, so no parts on this one. This one, again, all about NOS management. There's a couple of little things you can do, though, so let me show you those. When you get outside, oh, this is a gutter turn. Right, where to go? Right here. You can line yourself up with a fence. Just go for like the middle of the fence, and you'll be good. When you get to the end of this bridge here, you're gonna cut to the left. There you go, just like that. And no cuts again until, I think that's it actually, but let me just make sure. A lot of NOS management. Make sure your tank is, you know, semi-full this entire time so you can just keep tapping it. This turn gets a little tricky. Just make sure you slow down a little bit and take it as inside as possible there. We go up the hill and we come down the backside. Oh, this section here in the tunnel, you can blast your NOS. You can do basically the whole tank once you get into 6. So get into 6 and then blast it. And then that's it. We got some gutter turns on the way down the hill and you're at the finish. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is with the Fiat, and this one you get to use your own parts. So make sure you have pure and extra pump on your Nitro Chemist set. And I've got the pro settings for this one as well, so make sure you have those on there. This one is just Kiss Me Combi, so it's all about NOS management and keeping speed. So try not to drift. Make sure your NOS is in the blue the whole time. There is one cut at the very, very end, but the whole race is very simple. But when you get to the end here, right past the, what is this, like a gas station type thing? You go out into the grass, don't hit the trees, and then reset your car at the flag. And that's it. Then you NOS to the finish. If you don't know how to reset, go into your difficulty settings, turn off rewind, and then when you hit the rewind button, it will reset instead. All right, let's move on. All right, the next race is with the Ghibli, and this one is with your parts. So make sure you have Nitro Chemist, pure and extra pump. And there's only a couple of things in this one, actually. So let's fast forward to those. When you get past this bridge here, you're going to cut the grass on the left. Just like that. And let's fast forward. This one here is a pretty important gutter on 29%. So make sure you jump into it. This car does not handle very well, so use the gutter to your advantage. There's another important gutter here at 40% here. Make sure you get that one. And then with this left-hander coming up, you can cut the grass a little bit here. And if you hit the wall a little, don't worry too much. It won't hurt your speed too much. You can use a little NOS, you'll be fine. Cut the grass at the end of the bridge as well. And get back on the road. And then here at 66% after the big trees, you'll go to the right and go straight towards the checkpoint. Another cut there, and I believe that's it. Let me make sure. Yeah, everything else is just staying on the road and NOSing to the finish. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is in the Maserati Alfieri Concept. This one is your car again. Make sure you have your parts, Nitro Chemist, pure, extra pump. This one is all about NOS management. I've been saying NOS management a lot in this video, and it's because I'm doing this solo. If you have a slipstream partner, your NOS management doesn't actually matter as much. So it's going to matter more for solo players. Anyways, don't hit the NOS button until you get through this turn here at 10%. And then you can start tapping it here. Outside of that, there's really no shortcuts in this race. You're going to want to use the gutter here at 31%. You're going to use the gutter here. Practice this one. This one will save you a lot of time. And let's see if there's any other tricky turns. This turn here is kind of tricky. You're going to have to let off the gas a little bit. And you notice how far inside I am here? Look at where my car is pointing. I'm like pointing into the grass. It's because it'll understeer and it kind of slides. But look where it slides. So I started sliding. I'm still on the edge right here, taking the gutter. It's the way to not end up in these bushes over here. So that's basically what you want to do. It looks like this. You're going to turn right there. That way you don't end up in the bushes. And then you can NOS back up to speed. And honestly, that's kind of it. I think there's only, let's see if there's any other tricky turns. There's 2 turns towards the end here. This one at 91, get yourself in the gutter. And the same thing with the next turn after this at 95, get yourself in the gutter, and then you can nos to the finish. I got a little bit of wonky, but you know, it is what it is. Let's move on. All right, the track of the week. This is the one where I recommend using the Erase. If you don't have it, I mean, it'd be helpful to buy it. It really does fit this track really well. So there's a couple of things with this one. The first thing is NOS management. The second thing is, you see this bump that you see, and then the corner kind of like dips down into the corner. These bumps mess you up, especially if you're going fast, and you can't really take the quote unquote right racing line. You have to go inside earlier. So this is what it looks like. You go inside a little earlier so that the car dips into the apex, and then you can accelerate out. There's another one up here that I saw. I think that was a better example. This one here. You can see this one coming a mile away. See this big hump, and you can see on the mini map you're going to be turning left. So I just turned in early. You just turn in a little earlier and make sure you can make the corner. It's annoying, but it's a thing in Track Forge. The other thing is, when you're using your NOS, you want to make sure that you're blasting it in the last gear, especially if you have Nitro Chemist with Pure and Extra Pump. The last gear is going to give you the best speed, and it gets you there quickly. Nitro Chemist is extremely powerful, and these Track Forge events have a lot of straights in it. Like this one has a lot of straights. So when you get to a straight like this, you're going to be blasting the NOS to keep yourself at top speed. So anyway, that's it. Let's move on. All right, for the slalom, I recommend using the Fiat, and this one, just make sure, actually whatever car you use, just make sure you have a set of score breaker parts with skilled on it. You just have to have score breaker skilled, and if you don't have score breaker, make sure you have 7 yellows with skilled. Make sure that skilled is completely maxed out. You need that. That's going to give you basically a full score. Even if you go slow, you could still get a full score. So anyway, that's the key to the slalom. I don't even need to show you a video of it. Let's move on to the escape. The escape is super simple. You're going to go the direction that you spawn and literally just follow that road until the bubble gets you. That's it. That's the escape. All right. If you have a slipstream partner, that would help. Anyway, that's it. Let's move on. Actually, the video's over. It's over. All right, here are my final scores. If you have any questions, you can send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I do read every single message. Sometimes it takes me a few days to get back to you, but definitely send it over and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.